Welcome back to Hunter Ascended. This is episode 4 in our series of sevtech ages. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel so far. The first couple of episodes seem to be going quite well. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So if you've watched the previous episodes, you know by now I've been doing a few little bits off the camera just to progress a little bit. At the end of the last episode, we were just on the end of the first tutorial age, as we can see here. Okay. Now, off camera, I did make the flame grilled goods, like I said, just because I needed to automate a few processes. I am still going to be showing you how to make that now as well. Okay. But basically, this was the whole purpose of it. It works as a fire block, just like a fire underneath the grill. But obviously, it's a hopper, so we could put it into a chest. So essentially you can then put whatever you want to be cooked on top like this, and then you do the hopper on top. So whenever I need any food or anything like that, like for example I've got some wood right now, it's just feeding into there, and then things like stone and stuff like that are being created automatically, as opposed to what you saw beforehand where we had to constantly be there clicking it. Alright. So like I said, I just did a few things off camera just to make it a bit easier for this episode. We can get straight in, get into the next stage, and stop being cavemen. Don't know what to class the next stage. I think it gets classed as age 1, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can come up with a fun name for it. But yeah, I've got some of the stuff ready for us to actually get building, and I've put some totems around the place. Been breeding the buffalo and stuff like that. So just like I said, so we can continue with our journey. As you can see, I've just got some stuff going on here. So yeah, what we're going to do is, first things first, I'm going to show you how we make this flame grilled goods nest, because we're going to need one for our heater, I believe. So if we click the heater, you're going to see what we need to make it. So we need the porcelain bricks. Okay. Now the porcelain bricks, okay, was unfired porcelain in the clay kiln, which is what I've got over there. Some of these made. But to make that, we had to combine flint, clay, and white dye powder in the millstone. Now, we acquired the white dye powder by putting bones into our crusher over here, and then you put the bone shards back in, and it gives you bone meal. And once you put bone meal back inside, it will give you the powder that you need. Okay. Once you've got all 3 of them, okay, you come over here, and I've left 2 in here so that I can just make the final 2 we're going to need. Okay, we put all 3 ingredients in, and we basically click it. Okay. After one click, if you go back, you can see it's done a little bit, so you have to just kind of click here for a little bit. When you see it go back, just click. I think it's like 4 or 5 clicks. This does use exhaustion as well, so if you're doing a big project, you're going to need a couple bits of food to keep yourself going. But as you see, it pops out either of the 3 sides, and you can pick it up. You can't really hop it into this or out of it properly, because it takes out the ingredients and it doesn't kind of differentiate between a finished product and a not finished product. So what you will have to do if you want to kind of automate this at the beginning stages is, on the outsides you're going to have to put hoppers so it picks up anything dropped, and then basically fade into one chest for yourself. That is kind of the only way you can do it for now. But as you can see, that basically gave us the unfired porcelain, and then I'll just be chucking that in there. It burns itself through, and we get our porcelain bricks. Just like so. Okay. I built a few because ideally, even though we need to make the porcelain melter, that requires 6. The heater requires 6 as well. But then you also have the casting table and the casting basin, which we are going to have to make as well. So just keep in mind. Now, if you look at the side here, you also have, if any of you are familiar with Tinker's Construct, you can just make seared bricks out of grout, which we're going to be doing that once we unlock it anyway, so you will learn how. But you can also make the melter and the heater version of this. The reason why I stayed away from it is simply because if you actually look on the quest, it mentions on the page that the porcelain will not match seared version. So I think for the safety, if you've got to do it yourself as well, just save you a bit of time. Just do the one that is instructing you to do, and that way you know you definitely got to do the quest. By all means, if anyone knows it works with the other, put it in the comments, let me know. At least I'll learn something as well. Okay. So that is the porcelain, how we go about making that. What we're going to do is, if we click this, we've already got the stone grill made in our inventory and the primal chest, which we showed you how to make last time. It's just a flame grilled whopper, which is 2 red cedar, one of the shadow gems, some charcoal dust, a shark tooth, and a level 2 hopper. Well, whopper it calls it, but it's not what it is. So, if we go over here, we're just going to quickly take this stuff out. I just left it in there like that. I believe this is what we've just seen. So we'll go like this. And then obviously, once we're done, we just beat it with the old hammer until we actually get it. There we go. We have our flame grilled goodness. Okay. So we're going to put that back in because, as we say, we're going to make the melter now. Okay. So we need 6 porcelain, 1 stone grill, and the chest. And I believe I've got that stuff already here. Yep. Just like so. There's the chest. There's that. And here we go. So, combine all the things together. And there we have our melter. Okay, we press L. Oh, I did the melter beforehand. You are supposed to do that part. So when we make this, it's going to finish off the line. As I discussed at the very beginning, this is the grey line. So once we get to here, we're going to advance in the ages, and you'll see a prompt and it will unlock other things. So what we will do is we'll just make sure we make our heater now. Alright, so the heater is again 6 porcelain bricks, 1 stone grill, but you also need clay barrel extensions. So if we click this, it kind of shows you what it does. Okay, adds 4 buckets to capacity, okay, of a normal barrel. Okay, however, if we click the clay kiln, it shows us how to make it. So we need an unfired clay barrel extension, and basically cook it in the kiln, and then we'll get what we need, and we need 2 of them. And that's very simple. It's just a hollow down the middle with that pattern there, and we're going to get 2. So let's go over here, in one of these chests we've got some clay, there we go. So we need 6 clay together. Let's just grab that there. And there we are. Now we just need to burn them. And the fires of hell, I think that's good. Yes. So we can put this there. Essentially, you know, for any of you that aren't actually used to like how you use hoppers to automate things, this is the simplest way to do this type of thing. You know, you get any type of hopper, you put it in. Just in case none of you are familiar with the hopper system, whatever you're looking at when you place is how this like little end will go. So at the moment you see how that's facing down the bottom square. That means the hopper will direct its items outwards to that direction. And if you can kind of see here, you've got the bottom pointing towards this chest. So you do that with chest basically by crouching, and then while you've got the hopper, you will select the side of the chest that you want it to go in. And that will then connect it so that it works functionally like this. As you can see, that's been cooked, and we now have our product. Okay. So we're going to continue the recipe, just like so. 2 barrels and the 1 grill. And this, as soon as we pick this up, oh, we'll let you get a little lag every time he goes to the next stage, and there we go. Welcome to everyone. We're no longer cavemen. Yay! We'll have to start being a bit more civilized, eh? Don't worry, we've got some ways of doing that. So, now that we've progressed, okay, all we're going to do quickly, we've got the melter on the heater, so we can put the, so you do it like that. So you have the heater at the bottom and the melter on top. You can put coal or charcoal in here, basically anything that burns, type wood, to heat up, to get temperature up here to be able to melt simple alloys. And I say simple because you can only use simple ones in this, which we have now unlocked by getting to the age. So if we press L, alright, you'll see that that part's done here. It shows up purple because that's the main, basically the main story for it. Other little bits that you might need to think of, you can do yourself. This is to summon a boss to get stuff done. We might end up doing that. We do have to do a few more rituals, and it's going to take a little bit more time. So I might end up making that one of my videos that go onto Twitch. Alright, I've not set that up yet. That will be getting set up soon. I'll be putting the link in the description. So any of you guys want to see the in-between bits starting from like this episode, I think I'm going to make sure that I provide that for you as well. Don't know if there's going to be a lot of talking. It might just be me simply playing through so you guys can follow what I'm doing in the middle of the episodes, okay? So hopefully, you'll find that a bit entertaining too. But if we click up here, we can click Welcome to Age 1, and this is our new quest line. So now we've unlocked quite a lot. We have unlocked, finally, a crafting table. Okay, we don't need to hammer things together anymore. Chests, furnaces, and a few other bits and bobs, okay? So what we're going to do, very simply, is we are going to make ourselves a crafting table, sorry. Believe we should just be able to make it like this now. There we go. So that's just like the original recipe. No longer cavemen, and we have ourselves a crafting table. Okay? I always like putting them in the floor. Alright? So we officially do not need this anymore. Okay? And we don't use that chopping block anymore because we've got our horsey doing our work for us. Alright? So we'll just get rid of that. Let's delete the stuff, it's nice and easy. Okay? So there we are, we have our crafting table. I'm pretty sure most of you know how to do one of them. Alright? So up here we have a few different types of things and bobs that we've got to get done. But we're just going to quickly delve in down here for a quick minute. So we have actually unlocked ores now, okay? So we've unlocked, I believe, tin and copper, which we can eventually use to make bronze, alright? So as I explained in the first episode, the way ores kind of appear in the world, it's not the same. So here's a good example. Now that we've unlocked the age, we're going to start seeing things like this, rocks, okay? Now this is a sample, okay? Now you can destroy a sample if you need to pick it up, or you need to remember the name. So that's copper, and there's a couple of them. That means there's a lot of copper underneath this somewhere, okay? If you actually press L and kind of go over the copper itself, look, it'll tell you it'll be located between Y12 and Y52, okay, within that chunk that you found it in, okay? So I know if I dig down, I can get myself some copper, alright? And copper doesn't pick up like ore or anything else like it used to. It only comes in these clusters, okay? And if you press U, what we can do with this is we can burn it in the melter that we built to get some molten copper, alright? So this is like our first upgrade into the next stage, basically, okay? But that's basically how the ores are going to work. So we'll have to go find a tin one, and also I believe we can find coal now as well, alright? Which means we can start advancing. What we're going to do is we're just going to put this away. So obviously now we have like the ability to make ourselves just normal chests, okay, which are a lot more effective. Okay, we can look, just make ourselves a normal chest like so. Alright, this is our normal chest. We can combine and make double chests just like everything. So these are a bit old now. I'm not going to waste your time and sort everything out like on camera with these. What I will be doing basically will be switching out all of these, building a wall of them here and a wall of them here, and having everything properly organised. And that's essentially it for that part. That's what we will be doing, but we'll do that, like I say, off camera. And I'm hoping to get the Twitch sorted out, and I'll probably just record, you know, I'll be listening to music or whatever, so I won't be talking, but it'll be there for you guys to confirm, you know, what is actually happening. Because I don't want you guys thinking that I'm actually, you know, just cheating when I'm off camera, because I'm not. Like, I'm literally spending hours in between. Didn't realise how much work it would be, to be honest. Like, I'm spending 4 or 5 hours in between episodes and then editing and uploading it and everything, so it's, yeah. It's almost like I'm a full-time job. Who would believe it, eh? So that's that. One thing I wanted to check, just quickly. No, we've not unlocked it. So it looks like it's going to be the next stage where we unlock drawers. The drawers is just a kind of sorting mod where we can have it a lot more organised than putting it into a chest. I prefer them because they integrate later on with the computer system, and I do prefer using it because it's better for storage, really. I find it to be anyway. So what we're going to be trying to sort out now is, when it comes to making leather and stuff like that, we've got a bit of an easier way to do it, okay? You also need to do this for dough and other things like that. But if we create a wooden basin, it basically lets us kind of make 3 things at a time, with only 1 water source and 1 salt or resin, whichever it might be, instead of having to use 3 to make 3. Okay, so like I said to you when we made that leather the first time, we're going to need less and less salt as we go on. That's literally the case. So we're going to make a wooden basin. Alright, so if we just quickly search wooden basin. Okay. And there we are, wooden basin. So it's just some logs, okay? I believe it can just be any type of logs, or has it got to be like a special type? Let me just see what it's doing. Same redwood right now, redwood bark and all that other stuff. I do believe, I mean, we have the redwood thingy anyway, don't we? The cedar ones and some olive and iron. Yeah, I believe it's got to be a bit of a weird wood. So I don't think it'd be normal, or maybe it can. You'll have to let me know, but luckily we've got some anyway. So it's just that, and some sticks as we just saw there, yeah? Okay. Now, however, now that we have access to a normal crafting table and we don't have to beat things, when you click on the crafting table, chart table, and you click on the recipe on the right, okay, there's a little plus sign. So if you've got everything in your inventory to make the item, if you click plus, it will let you, and it will transfer everything straight into the crafting table for you. And then all you do is pick up the item that you were trying to make. So this makes it a lot more easy when you're doing like complex things and you're like, instead of not in the pattern, you just quickly chuck it in there, click the plus button, done. Alright, it's quite straightforward that. Is it not night time? Does it not look quite dark on your guys' screen? I guess it's not quite dark enough yet, eh? It mustn't be. What's my brightness? It's pretty bright actually, so if it's this dark, it must be pretty dark. Is there no eclipse? Like I say, there's some things on the mod I'm not 100% at yet. But it's saying we can't sleep until night time. I'd call this night time. I would anyway. I think what we'll do, we'll put this base on the pier, why not? Just like that. Okay. I'm going to show you how, for example, that's used now. So, if you remember the process of making leather, we needed to combine some like pelts with salt. So we've got salt. We're only going to need one now, okay? And we've got some pelts, so let's just put that there. We have our handiwork blade to be able to turn the pelts into raw hide, okay? Just like so. Alright, what we can do, we've got a couple of these. Alright. Oh, where is the bladder? There it is. There's our flue bar. Oh, it's going daytime. I thought it was night. I guess I must have been playing through the night. Oh well, it's no biggie, no biggie. So, what you do with this is you basically pick your water up. We can place it down now inside of that using the fluid bladder. Okay, and you'll put one salt in and 3 hide. Okay, now when you click with an empty hand, okay, once you've got a right recipe in there, okay, it will stir around for you. So you simply stir it 3 times, I believe it is, for the recipe to do. And hey presto, we've just made 3 salted hide. So it makes it a bit easier. It works the same with the resin step as well. So if we press U, U on the dried hide, it's now got the wooden basin as an option. It kind of shows you 1 water with the 3 hide and the resin. We'll make 3 of them. So it just kind of eliminates the amount of extra materials you need. If we click on the wooden basin itself and click U, we can see all the recipes for it if we go across. Okay, we're going to need it later on to continue on making paper and enchantments and other things like that we're going to need. Alright, so as you can see, you've got quite a different mixture of what you can do. One thing we are going to be using it for, and I will show you obviously live again, but the main grind will be done offline to be able to get lots of it. But we can basically make dough. Because we're going to be able to farm this again soon, so we'll be setting up a farm so we can grow plenty of wheat and other things. But look, we can make dough out of flour, combine flour with salt and water, and then once we've got the dough, if we click usage, we can simply cook the dough into a piece of bread. And as I was saying before about what bread you use, so if we press usage on the bread now, okay, it will show you that you can combine it with basically any cooked meat you can kind of think about, and it will give you a tasty sandwich. Now, if you see that its nutrients, it says grain and protein 3%, and then you've got the food bar and then the over food bar, right? So that means every time you eat one of them, it's going to give you 3% of your grains. So as you can see, we've just been eating protein, basically. No veggies or anything, just protein. We've still got our little boost, but as I said to you, the more of these you have at 100%, the more boosts that you will actually get. I also found out this one also has like a dinner meal, so if we put like steak, that's nice, the steak is, alright, so if we put steak, you've got steak dinner, which gives you protein and vegetables, so you can mix these things up a little bit if you wanted to, okay. It's quite simple. It's like a baked potato with cooked carrot and steak together. It will give you 3 So you got to remember, like, that you might think, oh, well, it's a bit thingy, but that's going to give you 3, which is very good, to be honest, because you don't get a lot of nutrients from like the carrots or the potatoes on their own. But if you're going to combine it with the steak, as you can see, it gives you 4, and it gives you the percentage. So you can kind of mix things up a little bit. Okay, I mean, I don't know if it's any usage for that. I doubt there is. But yeah, you can put the steak with that, steak and potatoes, created steak. Okay, and then we can like obviously make other things. So you'll learn quite a lot of it yourself and can decide what you want to do primarily for your diet. As we get further on, it's going to be easier to make more complex dishes, like I explained the first time, to be able to keep all them percentages up. But that's where we're at the moment. So we are going to be making some of that once we've got ourselves a little farm going on. Okay, so let's just put them items back there. Okay. For the melter, I believe I showed you last time what we were going to do. So if we quickly just put the melter back. Okay. So you've got a casting table, which is simply that in the recipe, and then you have a casting basin. All right. You do need both. The table is going to let you put moulds and stuff like that on, okay, which we will kind of get into a little bit later. And the porcelain casting basin is what we're going to be using for now, because I don't believe we can use the casting table just yet, because there's nothing really to mould. Not to my knowledge anyway. No, there's nothing that we can actually mould with that just yet. So all we'll do is we'll just chuck that at the side of it. But we still do have a few more, and one thing we are going to need is a faucet. So yeah, by the looks of it, what we're going to have to do is get a bit of seared brick. Alright, now seared bricks are quite easy. You need to make grout, and all grout is a bit of sand, clay and gravel combined in the millstone, and then you get your grout and you can burn it. Okay, and for the faucet on this we only need that much. Okay, so all we will do quickly, is it night time? I know. I'm confused. It's making me crazy, this game. It really is. Okay, we're good to go. Just go quickly grab a little bit of sand, just so we can get this process done. Because once that's set up, we're going to move onwards to... Oh, we'll grab parchment then. We'll be moving on and just getting a bit of the materials to kind of show you what we can do with it. Alright, so we literally just need to make 2 lots of this for now. So there's that combined with gravel, which I believe we have some up here. Yes, we do. Okay. Like I say, I know this is like a bit of a mess at the moment, but now that we have access to these bigger and better things, we are going to be doing, like I say, a bit off camera and organising it a lot better for us. I like to put signs and things on, so if we can make signs now, which I think we can, we will be doing. So, as you can see, I just got 2 grout there. You can see my food going down. Like I said to you, it does use quite a bit of exhaustion, this machine. And there's our grout done. Okay. You can cook, I believe, on this or in this. So just because I believe this is a bit quicker, we'll put it here. Okay. As you can see how these work. You put it in the top chest. It's got to do that. It'll cook it, go over to the side, and then that will extract it and put it in the chest for you. So it's nice and easy that way. All right. So Lucy, there's one done already. What we're going to do is we're going to put porcelain away. We don't need it. We don't need the crafting rock anymore either. Alright. There's the 2. Come on, just waiting for this last one, then we can do our crafting. Don't make me wait. There we go. So, a faucet is just very easy like that, and there we go. Shift click. So now when we've got metals in here, okay, we will then be able to pour it out into other things. I have just realised something. We need that. I'll just put away for a bit. We need to be able to actually interact with this to put the things that we want to burn inside. Okay. So that's all that set up. You can see how that works now. There's a few little bits here. The aqueduct, I never used. I'm going to quickly find out how to use them. It kind of seems a bit thingy. It says move water using aqueducts by creating a channel with an aqueduct on the bottom and any blocks on the side, creating a V. So kind of like in the pattern we just did with the blocks to make the faucet. Note, this advancement requires that you place the blocks and thingy. So I don't know what it means by move water using. Like, is it is it just going to start allowing it to flow? Is it going to drag it? Like, it doesn't quite make much sense. Like, I built it last time, but I never used it. Didn't really see the need. The other quest is simply, clay barrels just to hold fluids, such as, water or liquids. I think we can actually use the aqueduct with the barrel. I think that's what it's intended for, because if you look here, we've got pipe me inside. So it's use a dung pipe to pull items out of a block, or use a sewage pipe to pull items through solid blocks. Okay, so I think it could be possible to kind of intertwine these, and that's where we can start moving water up in places. We don't need to do any of that though. Like, once we get to the end here, if we look at this path, so as I said last time, the dark grey one, which is kind of where we lead, so we do the crafting table, we come down this way, we're going to have to make like bronze and the abyssal craft stuff. We have to get a portal to be able to go to the dark dimension basically, and it's a bit creepy, but we will need torches for that, which luckily we've unlocked now, so that's good. But we need to go there to acquire things like black quartz and aquamarines. We have to delve into a bit of astral sorcery, which is a very fun magic mod if any of you haven't played it before. It can become very overpowered if you do it correctly and you're lucky enough. It can be done quite a lot. I have gone quite far in that mod in the past on a different mod pack, but just like everything else within this mod pack, it's locked behind doors. You can only go so far, and even the recipes to be able to acquire all of this involve a different mod packs to get there. So they've done a very good job in intertwining everything, so it's not as straightforward, which was what drew me to the pack in the first place. It was that difficulty. But we will have to basically make the luminous crafting table to be able to finish this age and continue. But if you look above, we have water, and this is going to be our kind of first automatic power. Alright? And we will be delving into that as well. This end stuff will probably get done in the next episode. I'll be organising some stuff out. We're going to try and get through as much of this little beginning part as possible. And yeah, that's it really. We're just going to kind of see where we get with it. So, what we need to do is craft a weak dowsing rod, okay, to help you locate ours. Alright? So all we're going to do is just type in rod, okay? And there it is, the weak dowsing rod. So that's just some oak-like wood and 2 sticks. Do we have any pure wood on us? I think we do. There we go, and 2 sticks. Honestly, it just feels so great just to be able to craft like this again. Plus, done. So much better. So when you craft that, you're also going to get a field manual. Okay. Now that's going to give you an induction to kind of how the resources are going to work on this compared to vanilla ores. Okay. Also telling you about the prospecting samples, which is what I showed you before. Some of them, that this is unknown at the moment. That's iron, just in case you're wondering, but we don't get that till next stage. Alright, so it's not even in the world. The only ones that are in the world is like tin, copper and coal at the moment. But we can use the tin and copper to make some bronze, which is a little bit better than iron when it comes to like tool wise. It's just obviously a bit more expensive as well, and you have an extra process to make. But we will be making that stuff as well. So that's the book. I tend to keep all my books just like here in my backpack. I don't know why I've got the top ones in that there, but we'll just leave it there. We've got some sticks, just a few emergency materials, that's all. And obviously now we've got a crafting table and we don't need too much with us. So, I believe we got materials in you as well. So this is another book. This book is for Tinker's Construct. So these are the tools we will be making quite early on. Tinker's Construct tools are so good. They have a leveling system, modifiers. If any of you are unfamiliar with it, I think you're gonna enjoy it quite a lot. Essentially, you can make all types of tools, like you would use normally in the game. Okay, out of different types of materials that you will find, bone, and they have different effects. So if we make something out of a bone, it's got a durability level, a mining speed level, damage of how it does, and it has like little hidden effects like splintering, so hitting them more, to deal more damage. Fracture, your tool's damage is increased, things like that. So you can kind of mix and match, and we will be showing you more of that in depth, but I don't believe just yet that we can. If I put... so remember, if you just do @ and then we can do it. So just put @Tinkers. There we go, @Tin. So yeah, we've unlocked a few bits. If you look at like Tinker's Construct, it's like grout and stuff like that in the casting basin. but we can't actually make the big forge that we need to make yet, and we don't have any of the stencil tables, so we've only unlocked that simply because we've just done the faucet. Okay, so it's, you know, you can unlock that and you can start learning about it, but you won't be able to utilise it until the next stage. So best option is you just put that away for safekeeping later on, because you will be needing it. But let's get back to this weak dowsing rod. So the weak dowsing rod, as you can see, yeah, when we kind of look down, it will scan 48 blocks ahead of us, like in a straight line, and it's looking for some ores. So when you find ore deposits, like here at the top, okay, you can dig down. Now, if you were struggling to find it, as you're digging down, you know, you'd look at a wall and you'd press it, and then it'll tell you if it's somewhere within that direction. I don't really think it's too necessary. Like, we need copper here, so one of the easiest ways I've found is very simply, you kind of just get in the middle of where you can see them all, because like I said, they're going to be in a huge vein. I do mean, like, it's going to be really, really quite large, so they're not usually that hard to find. But when it comes to some of the rarer ones, they don't appear in quite as big a quantity. So you can kind of do it which way you want. I find just like, you know, kind of staircasing down this way is a bit more effective, because otherwise you end up travelling quite far out just to be able to get down to the level where the ores are actually at. This will be quite dark, I imagine. Oh, monolith stone. Oh, okay. So we're not doing that just yet on that part. I forgot there's a monolith stone down there, which is some like boss creatures, so we will go to them soon and destroy them, but we're not doing it just yet. What we're going to do actually is, because I put some charcoal in here, yeah, we've got some charcoal now, we're going to upgrade, people. So we've got our little stupid torches that don't do any light, like, you have no idea, like, let me watch, you'll see now. So if I press F7, that shows us, like, where it's red, that means it can spawn there right now. If I take these lights away, look how dangerous it is. Okay? Even though we've got all these torches, they're not torches. However, what we can do, very simply, if you combine the light fibre torches with some charcoal or coal, it will give you 2 real torches. And then, people, when we place one, look at all the light it provides. You see? Look at it. Just one torch and it provides all this light. Alright? So, that was the reason why we had the fire on the floor, because we needed the extra, better light source, basically. Look, we can just place one there, done. Place one there, done. Alright? So, we're going to have to make quite a few of these now. You know, we can place that there and just get rid of these pieces of rubbish. Okay? Come on, we don't need you there. Plus it doubles and follows too. So now we can just go bing, done. That's got enough light already. Okay, so we're going to clean this up and make it a bit better obviously later on, but this is just what we're doing for now. And as you can see how many torches I had to put down here, normally you should only need like 4 torches to light up the place. So yeah, now there's like the area of 1 torch. It's a huge area that it covers. Alright, so at least we've unlocked them. Right, and we're going to use them when we're going down and finding some ores now. We are going to do it now just because we want to put our atlas on, so we've got our thing. Alright. So, obviously what you can do with the map as well is, like, if I wanted to, I could mark this area with like a pickaxe one on the atlas to show me that this ore is here. Although you will find these ores they're not in short. You know, you can just literally run around for a little bit. I do find in these grassy biomes, as you can kind of see, it can be a little tricky to kind of see it on the floor because of all the grass. So I tend to just kind of bob around like this. Like you can see a rock there, but we're looking for like one of them weird shaped rocks that's, you know, got something extra. Let's have a quick look. It shouldn't be too far, unless I'm being really unlucky. Come on. See, this is the only problem with not doing things beforehand. You know, like obviously I'm waiting to progress with you guys, even though I was playing the game for a few hours to get stuff sorted. I'm not actually progressing so much as if I'm, you know, because obviously I'm waiting to do it on the channel with you guys. So that kind of stops me progressing. Like when I was building stuff, I'm like, oh, I want to just build torches and I want to build this and I want to build that. But obviously I couldn't because I'm like, well, no, because people won't be able to see it. So that's why I'm kind of in like a bit of a rock and a hard place, because I'm thinking to myself, what should I do? Should I, just quickly pop out loads of videos so I can advance more and then sort stuff out, or not? So that's why I've been doing it bit by bit, really. But as you can see, we found some here. So there's a couple here, and I believe this is going to be tin. So yeah, it's a tilt one. All right. So all we're going to do is we're going to say pick a place, like we did a second ago. Let's just eat a little bit of food. It's getting night time, but we're going to be down here quickly, so it's okay. I believe we need this. I believe like tin comes quite high up anyway. We're going to just quickly have a dig down. There's some marble, just in case you guys are wondering. There are marble and slate in this, and it is going to come in handy a little later. Let's hold that because we're going to need to make ourselves thin. There we go. I don't know why I put it there, we need it on the lower level. There we go. So, I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see right now. I imagine it might be getting a bit dark. I'm going to put some light on once we get down to where we need to be. We will not be harvesting all of it, there is so much. Later on, you can get or excavate. So, for any of you that don't know what or excavate means, you can hold one button, it will mine basically a load and loads of blocks at once. So it saves you a lot of time and effort, okay? However, you have to unlock it in this mod pack, and that's a bit later on, in like another 2 ages that we can actually achieve that. I don't believe these ages are quite as long as that first one, if I'm being honest with you. So it's a positive, really. So we're going to keep going down. Hopefully it's not going to be too much further. Hoping we've not gone past it somehow. I don't feel like we have. We kind of went in the middle of all them clusters we could see. It's just one of them. Sometimes it can be a bit funny, even though it's there, it's sometimes a little off, and obviously, because we're only digging down like this, we could go straight past it and not even realise. But I'm just hoping that's not the case. We will know, because if we hit bedrock, what we'll do is we'll kind of go back up and we'll use that dowsing rod on each level in each kind of direction, and it will then tell us whether we've gone past it. Like, if we hold it out right now and just click there, look, nothing of interest, nothing of interest, nothing of interest, nothing of interest. So nothing on this level in 48 blocks either direction exists really for us to mine. It's just going to be normal stone. Obviously you can't even tell your depth at this point, so I don't know if where I was maybe could have been at like 80 blocks high, and that's why I'm still going down. It can get a little tricky. It can. Let's just keep going. Although I've got a bad feeling that we might have gone past this one. It might have been slightly off, simply because we're like near the water or something. Because this seems like we've gone down quite a bit just for tin. Where did it say tin was again? Let's press L. Oh, it can be all the way down to Y8. Okay, so no, yeah, it could still be down. It usually isn't quite a big bundle. We'll see. We'll know when we see it. Didn't realise it could spawn all the way down to Y8 though. Oh. So we are getting further down. There's some lava down there by the looks of it. You can kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that little glitch that was happening. Come on. What's going on? Come on, game. You're just being mean now. Making this long-winded for no reason. That's all on lava. So we're at lava. What we're going to do is quickly kind of work our way up, keep clicking it, and hope it's going to kind of tell us. So nothing. Come on. Oh! Beryllium ore. This direction. What's beryllium ore? It says 2. Nothing. But then it says 2 here, right? Wait, what? Come on. Why is it not working there now? Took us in that direction. So, let's just dig this way a little bit. I don't know what the brilliant is, I didn't really know. Unless that's going to be copper. Maybe we find a bit of copper somewhere. Hey, look, there's the tip. Told you it wasn't really too fast. So that's what the dowsing rod's used for anyway. As you can see, it works. You do need it, it works. Alright? So, obviously with stone tools, we can just quickly repair it like that. Alright? And then we can just gather ourselves some of this wonderful tin. And as you can see, we just got our achievement here. Okay? Find tin, the next one's going to be copper and some coal. As you can see, we're not the fastest at doing it right now. And it doesn't actually drop ores. It's been changed a little bit. Like I said, you get them clusters instead. Later on, when we go to the Twilight Forest, that's where we can actually find certain ores, like the old type we're used to. And we'll need to utilise that for a few things. We'll have to try and get ourselves like a silk touch, because when you destroy it, it will still sometimes become what you don't want it to be. Like a redstone, we need actual redstone ore at one point to make a reactor. But that's something we'll have to get, we'll cross paths with when we do. Okay? So we're just trying to run a decent amount of this realistically, but I don't want to spend too much time gathering it. I'll just get like 27, enough for 3 blocks to be able to show you guys what you have to do to actually pick it up and use it. I mean, obviously, like I've explained in the past, you've got your JEI, you can always press U on that for your usage, nice and easily. If we press U on this right now, it'll show us we can put it in a crusher, which we don't have obviously yet. The only thing we can use right now is the melter. But that would turn into molten tin. If we click usage on that, this is like casting, so you can use it for these castings, but we don't have anything to make the casting out of yet until the next stage, unfortunately. What we can do, and what we will be doing, is making a better shield. Okay, but we can use it here just to make ourselves a bit of tin blocks, and then if you press usage on that, what you do is you have to put it on the anvil, beat it into a tin ingot, and then once it's an ingot, as you can see, you can use it for other things, alright, which we will be doing. Okay, we will have to be delving into some of this stuff properly, and as you can see here, to make bronzes, you combine 1 tin with 3 copper, and you'll get 4 bronze, which we'll have to be making as well. So what we're going to do for now is just go back up. It doesn't take us long to get back up, thankfully. As long as I'm not being a derp. And send you dizzy, won't it? Keep going round and 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 round. Okay. So also now what we're going to do is we're going to just add a marker, because we know here. Yeah, we can put it, and we can just put tin. And then done. So now we've got a little marker for tin, so we know where we can come and just gather what we need. Right. What we'll do is just get home and go sleep quickly. So yeah, we're going to need to find like a coal and a copper one to really progress. I guess I could dig under or just go and kill that monolith stuff now, or try. As soon as I do, we can then get that copper, and I can get to combining all the stuff together. Can I see? Hope in this episode, if I check the time now, what are we at? When did I set my alarm for? Yes, I've set an alarm now because I need to try and keep it as close to an hour as possible. I've noticed the past 2 episodes I went at like 1 hour and 5 minutes. And obviously these are long enough, we don't want any extra time, really. Want to keep it as easy as possible. Does anyone else on their phone always lose where they put like apps and stuff? Because they're always changing the way the app looks. Yeah, we got like 15 minutes by the looks of it. Yeah, and then it'll be about an hour. So, obviously, like I say, I'm off camera, I am going to be doing some more stuff, getting some more drying racks up in that, because we're going to need it, really. But now we have this, okay? And what we can do is we can put 3 in here at a time, yeah? going to not do anything right now because there's no temperature. So what we can do is we can put some charcoal at the bottom. It's going to burn away, and then it's going to allow us to actually make some. So obviously it's a bit of a pain to have to constantly be here putting the free in. So what we can do is we can put a hopper and a chest to automate it. So we can just put everything in the chest and it will flood into it automatically for us when it can. I believe this is a small tank. It can only hold like 20 ingots or something like that. Okay, so it's not too great, but it's not that bad either. So all we need to do is we quickly come here. We're going to make ourselves a chest like so. Now what we can actually do is we can just make a chest just like that to make a wooden hopper. A lot easier, as I'm sure you'll agree. And then we've got our chest. So there's our chest and our hopper sorted, so we can just do a bit of automation with this. Nothing too crazy. We're not going to put it above, we've got that there. So what we'll do is we'll put this here. And as I said before with the hoppers, the end is where you point. So because we want it in here, we're going to shift and then click, and then the end point will be there. So now, all we do is we can put the tin in here, it's going to filter through, and when it's it's going to slot into there for us. So it just means that we can automatically put it in there and then leave it alone. It won't work with doing multiple at a time, so you'll have to like put a chest somewhere, keep all your spare rods there, but whenever you're just producing it, you do that. So as soon as we get to 9, that's going to basically make 1 block, so it changes from ingots to blocks, so it says 1 block. So this will produce a block, so if we right click on the faucet, it's going to pour out the molten liquid into the basin. And as you can see, it says porcelain casting, tin block, molten, and then it's filling up in miller buckets. Once it hits where it needs to, it's going to start to harden, as you can see there. Tin hardens quite fast. Once it's hardened, you can right click, and we have our block of tin, just like that. Okay. Can't use the block for too much right now, as it's just a block. But that's our block of tin, and we can do the same with copper and other materials as well, to be able to basically turn it into blocks and use it. Okay. What we are going to do is we're going to make the anvil type thing that we saw before, okay, to be able to turn these blocks into something useful, okay. So the anvil is there, yeah. So all we need to do is just search. All right. The anvil is just 5 stone and 3 stone slabs. Okay, so we're going to just need a bit of stone here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like so. Okay. Promise you, this will be more organised afterwards, and we can sort stuff out properly. So that gives us what we need. Stone anvil. So that just gets placed on the floor. You get a stone mallet straight away. They're quite easy to make. Literally, recipe is just a piece of stone above a stick. Okay, because this will be used up as well. So what you do is you take whatever you're gonna pretty much turn into a ingot or maybe a plate. You place it on here with right, and then you just hold the right with the mallet, and it's going to turn it into ingots for you. Now we can place it again and to turn it into tin plates, because if you press usage on the tin plates, this is where you can start crafting a few things. So you can make a chisel to be able to make nicer blocks, which we will be doing. As I say, I am going to make a Twitch before I do much more off-camera stuff, because I just want it to be there for you guys to see. I want you to see the effort I'm putting in off-screen as well. To try and make sure that I can do decent videos for you, and obviously you can use it for the pipes and stuff. So that's what we will be doing with that. Okay, so that's the stone mallet, and that's what it's used for. Okay, we are going to get all this organised, I promise you guys. Like I say, I'm going to set the channel up, do a live stream with it going on, while I spend probably 4 or 5 hours tomorrow sorting it all out, building it up. Because this is episode 4. I'm previously recording these episodes, so that I've got a bit of free time in between to learn and obviously do this grindy stuff in between as well. Like I say, I'm trying to be as reliable as possible as when it comes to my content and how regular it's going to be. And I did say, I'm going to try every single day, and that's what I've been doing so far. Okay, we'll keep out, see how long we can keep out for. As you can see, this has still been running while we've been chatting. Okay, it can't burn anymore because it's at its max, so we're just going to filter that out, nice and easy. Okay, so one more little bit that we're going to do, and we are going to be setting up a farm, decent one off camera, so we can produce other bits and bobs, and that is we can now make ourselves a hoe. Okay, finally we can become a hoe. No, sorry, did I say become? I meant make. Sorry, just ignore me. Yeah, I didn't say anything. Okay, so we're going to put this here, nice and easy, and we're going to make ourselves a hoe. Alright. One thing this mod's got is called worms. So when you till just normal land, it gives you the opportunity to find worms. Literally, for now, we're just going to put it here. No qualms about it. Okay, so till. Okay, that was that worm or seeds. I think that's just some seeds. So we're just going to keep tilling a little bit. You might be thinking, why have we not got no water? Okay. Obviously, this will just turn normal, but as you saw, we got 5 worms. What worms do is if you can place it and then in the middle and a 3x3 area around it, they basically fertilise it and keep it watered. So he's got to till that automatically for me, just like that. Okay, so you do that again, 3x3x3, just like this. Okay, it's very easy. All right, and he's got to till the dirt for you and keep it all hydrated. Best thing is that you can even get worms when they do it as well. So once you just do it a little bit, you can just kind of expand. This comes very in handy later on when you do automate farming, because the worms are needed. I would like to note though, I believe in the last one, whenever you kind of let a night time go, if you don't sleep and it goes past night time, the worms disappear. The crops will still kind of be there and everything, but the worms will disappear. So like, if you pick up the crop next time, it might not be there for you. It's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. So all we're going to do, because we can do this very quickly, is just like that. I tend to do like a set of 9 of like this, because now what we can do is we've been having to use like little parts here and there with the seeds, but now we can take these and we can just go and plant them, you know, nice and simple. I believe they also kind of get a bit of a tick buff, you know, with these worms being here, so that's good as well. Okay. No. I think we might have to fill this up, if not, it's not a huge issue. Like I say, I will be doing like a proper farm area, maybe a bit over here, carrots, potatoes, because we can make them vegetable mixes. We're going to need a lot of wheat to be able to grind up and make other bits of food, as well as continue breeding the buffalo, as I have been doing, as you can see. I've literally just been using stuff like this over at the village. They had a few farmlands that I just basically overtook, as you can see. So I've just been kind of doing that for now. Now we've got our own stuff, we can get a farm set up, you know, be a bit more efficient with all the stuff going on. So yeah, we'll just quickly give these a bit of food. I did set up as well, I've not used it yet because I've just been breeding them, but on the totems there's still a bit that I needed to learn, and obviously pigs apparently give you luck. So I assume if I kill one of these with the pig around, it will give me like fortune, luck, looting on. That's what I'm thinking. So if that's the case, that's going to be quite handy, because it means I can get more meat and more teeth from them that we're going to need in the hide and stuff to make ourselves some glue later on. So that's kind of like the goal with that for now. Okay. I will be doing, like I say, a bit of an advanced farm on the left here, because there's a lot we need. We do need the wheat, but there is a lot of other stuff that we're going to require planted and growing for it to be effective. Okay, so that's saying in 1 hour 7 minutes. Did I set it for the wrong time? I think I might have. I set it for 6:50 instead of. Ooh, I definitely don't think we've only been playing for the past 6 minutes, have we? Unless we have. I'm not too sure. You'll have to let me know. This is 1 hour and 7 minutes, but I'm pretty sure in 7 minutes it's going to be 1 hour. So we can just do this again. Okay, we'll leave these bits and bobs everywhere. Obviously, like I say, we need to sort this out because it's bugging me, and I'm sure it's bugging you. So, there's our crops. They're just going to, like I say, you've got to keep them irrigated. So you don't need water sources. It's a very good, handy little mod, them worms. I love them. Obviously, now with I don't know what actual HUD mod it uses, but as you see up here now, it says wheat in that blue box, and it shows us the growth rate and stuff. It'll kind of tell us whatever we're looking at, so it's quite useful if you're not aware sometimes what it is, or maybe what mod pack it comes from. Like if you look at the wild bush, that comes from the mod pack Rustic. So if you wanted to learn more about it, you could go into JAI, do @Rustic, and just kind of do a bit of homework on it. That's all really, you know, and then you'll find out yourself there from that point. Apparently we can all sleep at night. It does look night time, doesn't it? I'm not imagining this. Don't think I am anyway. Okay, so what we're looking at really is the aqueduct. If I just shove some of this stuff in here, because what we're going to do, for better or worse, is we're going to go try and fight the monolith down there quickly. I think that'll be kind of like a good coming up to the end of this episode. We'll fight that monolith, hopefully stop them from spawning. We are going to need them anyway, because if we press L, part of this stuff with the abyssal craft requires a trophy, and we get the trophy from killing one of them anyway. Not killing them, down in their little cubby hole type thing, should be one. It's just about actually killing it, that's all. Because it's going to spawn quite a few of them as we do so. And I've never been this low level when I've gone to fight them. But, you know, up for anything sort of thing. So all you're going to do is you're going to come down here. It's going to be very, very dark. We're going to just do a little bit of a run. Can I put some light around quickly? Oh, it's not spawned one in. There's a spider. There should be some stuff on the floor. There's, look, we've got a decorative statue. We actually need one of them to spawn so that we can fight it. I guess we're going to take these torches back a little bit, guys, because whether we like it or not, we need it because we need the flesh just in case this doesn't give us what we want. Oh, that's really dark, isn't it? There are loads, literally, you get these spawning all over the place. There's a couple on the waterbed, so we could just do that. What we'll do is we'll take the statue. This is kind of what we're after, but this is a decorative one. There was a creature down here earlier. I went past it and it was there. So a decorative statue can still be used. If you press usage and you combine it with the flesh that you usually get from the monster, it will turn it into an active one. Okay, and you need the statue to deal with the book and stuff, which we'll explain more in the next episode, really. But that's a bit disappointing. Not gonna lie. We were trying to get the copper, weren't we, as well, because that was like below it. Look, if we keep going, we're gonna run into this stone now again. No, we can destroy a bit. We do need a bit more stone anyway. There we go. Look, now we're actually inside of it. And down here, if we keep going, we should get a copper. Oh, well, at least we'll get some copper as well. Like, one of the things I'm going to put on this video doing on the Twitch stream is we'll be getting, like, you know, stacks and stacks of this stuff, putting it in places where it's organised, smelting it down, get it ready to be able to combine into bronze, because we'll be making bronze tools next episode. It does work kind of like the stone, so as long as we've got bronze plates on us, we can always repair it, and obviously I'll be keeping that stuff in my bag with me. I'll be like getting stuff to be able to craft like a stack of 64 with you guys, and then you'll be able to, you know, see how it gets used. Some people might be okay still using stone, but I don't know, it's just wherever you can get a bit of a better tool, you can with this game. Trust me, the next episode when we can get Tinker's tools, that's when things get fun. But by the time we get to like age 3, I feel like it is, we will have some decent tools with Tinker's construct. Maybe moved on to making some decent armour. We won't be invincible, but we'll be hella tough compared. And that is a chasm. So as you can see, that is some copper in a very terrible place. Extremely terrible. I'm assuming there's nothing underneath me here either. But, ooh. Danger. Where are we going? What are we doing? We're gonna... We're just gonna kind of work our way down, I think, a little bit. We don't have to go down all the way, just enough. There we go. So we're kind of like on the top of a bit. We'll probably go there and then go down or something. But at least we know where it is. So I'll probably end up just coming down here, gathering most of this stuff up. I'll find a better place actually, because it is a bit tricky. But that'll be done afterwards, so it's not a huge deal. Okay? Alright, all we're going to do now is we're going to go back home, because it looks like it's the end of the episode, guys. Looking that way. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys are obviously enjoying it so far. We are progressing. It might seem a bit slow, but anyone that's following this along, you know, yeah, that, you know, we're not kind of diddly-daddling. We are trying to get things done. Obviously, this episode I've shown you kind of some of the stuff we unlocked, some of the useful stuff. showed you how to be able to use the melter. Like I say, in between the episodes, I'm going to look at the aqueducts just so I can kind of show you them working. I'll do that probably on a creative world, just quickly see what's going on with that and how it works functionality, so I'm not wasting my resources on this. We have a hunting dimension, which we will introduce you to next episode. It's a bit more difficult to kill the mobs in there, so it's not hugely useful at the beginning. Like I say, once we get better tools later, it will be, but for now, it's not. Okay? And yeah, we'll kind of just go over these few extra bits, get it built, get it out of the way with, and next episode, we'll be able to just kind of move on to this part here, showing you how to make thatch and kind of making the bronze tools, hopefully. And maybe we might be able to dip a little bit into the blood magic side of things. And then, yeah, maybe the next 2 or 3 episodes we'll get through this stuff here. And I don't really want to put a name on it because it depends on how everything goes, but maybe another 3 episodes to get this age done, depending on how productive I'm allowed to be off kind of camera. Obviously, like I say, I'm going to upload it onto the Twitch channel. That I'm going to put links in the descriptions and stuff, so everyone can follow along there if you're wondering how I got from here to there in the future. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So this has been episode 4 of our sevtech walkthrough. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. Yeah, I'm going to see you on episode 5, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share it to any of your friends that think might get a bit of a kick out of learning a bit more about a new mod pack. Alright, thanks for watching and see ya.